I woke up in the middle of the night to find my wife crying and begging me to let her see that young man one last time. I'll come right back after seeing him one last time. Please, I'm begging you. In our 7 years of marriage, this was only the second time she'd spoken to me in such a pleading, ingratiating tone. The last time was when I caught the kid running out of her office, his clothes in disarray. Afraid I'd make a scene, she grabbed my hand and pleaded, "Honey, I promise I'll cut him off. Please don't divorce me. I'll die without you." So, I gave her another chance. Just as she promised, she devoted herself to our family, becoming the perfect wife everyone admired. Until today. I turned on the bedside lamp, looked into her eyes, and told her seriously, "Go. Don't leave yourself with any regrets." I had no regrets left. I hope the same for you. The sudden light made Leighton Chambers instinctively squeeze her eyes shut. The tear tracks on her face became painfully clear and glaring. The scene struck me as absurd. Back when we were younger, she'd thrown herself in front of a steel bar swung by a street thug to protect me, nearly crippling her right arm. She hadn't even raised an eyebrow. Now, she was crying this hard just because she was parting ways with a boy barely in his 20s. Her drunkenness gradually faded as she studied my expression. She collapsed onto the bed like a spring wound too tight for too long, losing all its tension. "You could have made a scene the way you did before. You could have slapped me and forbade me from going. Do you really need to pretend you don't care just to make me feel guilty? That's pretty pathetic, Logan Chambers." Her expression was strained with repressed pain. Ever since Leighton returned to our family, moments like this had become increasingly common. Anyone on the outside would have marveled at how we'd grown even closer after surviving the 7-year itch. People joked that Professor Chambers acted like a love-struck teenager, rushing home the moment she finished work, unable to bear being apart from me for even a second. I was on her social media profile picture, and my image was plastered across her messaging app background. She voluntarily handed over her phone and let me check it whenever I wanted. She looked every bit like the perfect wife. However, only the two of us knew what was hidden beneath that calm surface. Ever since that incident, I became sensitive and fragile. The words that came out of my mouth grew sharper and crueler. If Leighton said a tie looked nice and made me look younger, I'd snap at her. "Is it because you've got someone younger and fresher on your mind that you think I'm too old?" She took the initiative to take me on a date to some trendy restaurant. Everything was going perfectly fine. Then she casually remarked, "Their signature dish is pretty good." I exploded, demanding to know why she would bring me to a place she'd already been to with another man. But the truth was, I hadn't always been like this. I used to be cheerful and optimistic, the life of the party among my family and friends. How did I end up like this? The truth was, I considered getting a divorce the moment I discovered Leighton's affair. Back then, she was the one who threw away her pride and begged me for a whole month, swearing countless times that she would never make the same mistake again. However, later, it was she who watched me fall apart with a cold expression and asked if I was done making a scene. The night I hit my breaking point, I nearly destroyed everything in the house. Pointing at her, I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Do you think I've only forgiven you once? No. Every sleepless night, every time the memory comes back, I forgive you all over again. Why is it that you're the one who made the mistake, but I'm the one suffering for it? I wasn't the one who shattered the glass, but somehow, I was the one forced to walk across the broken pieces every single day." Tonight was our 8th wedding anniversary. Everything had been perfect. Leighton had rarely drunk so much. With every sip, she'd tell me she loved me. She said it over 100 times. We both ended up blushing, as if we'd somehow returned to the early days of our relationship. I even thought to myself, maybe I should just forgive her and pretend nothing ever happened. It wasn't until just now that I realized how ridiculous I'd been. Her outburst wasn't because she loved me. It was because another man had left her. Just like that, I realized I had no regrets left.